Hey, what's happening guys, this is Shukesh and you are watching Gadgets Portal. Well, this video is being recorded with the rear camera of OnePlus 5T which I have just unboxed, and in this video I will compare this OnePlus 5T with the OnePlus 5. Well, I've been a OnePlus user since OnePlus 3. I used OnePlus 3T, OnePlus 5, which I have with me right now, and I am actually somewhat disappointed with the OnePlus 5T. I think OnePlus 5T is what OnePlus 5 should have been when it was launched in June 2017. Of course, there are two upgrades on this new OnePlus 5T. One is on the display, which is now longer in 18:9, that is 2:1 aspect ratio, and you have a new camera. But I think if you are a OnePlus 5 user, you can actually pass OnePlus 5T, wait for OnePlus 6, which will be released within the first or second quarter of 2018. Now let's first have a quick look at the unboxing. I will give you a quick tour of the device, the features on this phone, and I will also compare OnePlus 5T with this OnePlus 5. So this is the box you get, identical to any other OnePlus smartphone, and there you have my trusted knife. So let's start the unboxing and show you the device itself. Now, the jump from OnePlus 5 to OnePlus 5T is the first time OnePlus has not raised the price between generations, so that's really awesome. There you have the SAR information, of course, under limit. There you go, the all new OnePlus 5T, and it looks extremely beautiful. It's much better than its predecessor. The edge-to-edge display with no hardware button at the front make the phone look very smart, modern, and the back look is more or less same with a fingerprint sensor. Let's remove the plastic, which is one of my favorite part, and at the front you get a scratch guard pre-installed on top of Gorilla Glass 5, which you can keep, of course, and the front look is totally new. It's much better looking, and the back is very similar, though the new camera is slightly more protruding, and you should be more careful when you put your OnePlus 5T on a rough surface. Luckily, OnePlus has included a silicone case with your OnePlus 5T, so the price has not increased. You are getting freebies. Definitely at the same price point, OnePlus 5T is a much better choice than OnePlus 5. So the price of OnePlus 5 might fall down to 30 or 31,000 rupees, I think. Now, of course, dash charger is one of the standout features of OnePlus devices. You are getting 5V 4A output, that is, it's a 20W charger. Since the battery is the same 3300 mAh lithium polymer, the total charging time should be around 1 hour to 70 minutes. Now, this is the case I have been talking about. This is how the phone looks with the case. It's a transparent silicone case. It's very thin, and the cutouts are almost accurate, I will say. It doesn't increase the thickness of the phone that much. The phone's thickness is just 7.3mm, so that helps. And as you can see at the sides, you are getting matte finish, which actually resembles the phone, and the most interesting part is at the corners you get some slight bump so that you can keep the phone face down on your table. So it's a premium case worth at least 500 to 700 rupees. Now let's quickly turn on the device. After LG, Samsung, Xiaomi, Apple, OnePlus has now stepped into the bezel-less arena with the OnePlus 5T. Thanks to the 18:9 aspect ratio, you are now getting a huge 6.01-inch display instead of 5.5-inch display, and the footprint of OnePlus 5T is actually very close to OnePlus 5. It's just 2mm taller, but the screen-to-body ratio has been increased from 73% to 80%. At the back you get dual cameras as usual, but this time OnePlus has ditched the telephoto lens found on the OnePlus 5 for a new 20MP sensor, which will help you capture low light images with much less noise. I will talk more about this later. At the bottom you will find the loudspeaker grill along with the USB Type-C port, which is still USB 2.0, which is a shame no USB 3. This is the primary microphone, and also you are getting the 3.5mm headphone jack. The left bezel consists of the power key and the dual SIM card tray. This phone takes nano SIM cards, and At the top there is absolutely nothing. On the right side you get the 3-point slider, which is one of the best features of OnePlus. You can actually switch to do not disturb or silent mode. I personally use this thing a lot. This is the volume rocker, which is made of metal of course, and there you have the antenna bands at the bottom and at the top. No need to say, the design looks very similar to iPhone 8 Plus or iPhone 7 Plus. The front camera shoots 16 megapixel images. The maximum aperture is f2.0 and you are getting the sensors, the ear speaker, and there is also an LED indicator for charging and notifications. There is of course no hard key at the front. The fingerprint sensor is at the back, and let's now have a close look at the display. It's an optic AMOLED display with 1080 by 2160 pixel resolution with PPI of 401, exactly same as OnePlus 5, and since the display is quite tall, it's almost impossible to reach the top, that is the notification bar, with your thumb. So I think OnePlus should release a smaller version like OnePlus 5T mini. The placement of the fingerprint sensor is almost at the accurate place. The volume rocker and the power keys are also accessible, only the display is too big for one-handed usage. Now let me quickly show you the Android version, which is still 7.1.1. Android Oreo 8.1 is on the way. You will get the update by January 2018. Out of the box, the Oxygen OS you are getting is 4.7.0, but you will get 4.7.2 update once you connect to internet. Now I have the 64GB version of OnePlus 5T with 6GB of RAM and 52.67GB is usable by the user. As you can see, 719 MB is being used by the preloaded applications, so the actual usable storage is slightly less than 52GB. Since there is no SD card slot, you can spend 5000 rupees more and buy the 128GB version with 8GB of RAM, which is of course overkill for a smartphone. Now Oxygen OS is very close to stock Android with some add-on features which are extremely useful. The UI is blazing fast as any other smartphone in any price category. There is almost no customization on the user interface, but as you can see, some add-on features like VPN and invert colors, data saver, gaming do not disturb are really very handy sometimes. There are a few more smart features I want to show you from the settings menu. You can swipe the fingerprint sensor for the notification, long press the sensor to take any photo, which is very useful for selfies. There is also flip to mute, 3-finger screenshot, double tap the screen to wake up the display, music controller, and also you can draw different letters for different actions even when the display is off. You can assign the task as you wish. For example, for O, I want to open the camera, so when the display is off, I can just draw O on the screen and the camera will open. So how cool is that? Now, is this new OnePlus 5T worth upgrading from OnePlus 5, or is it worth the price? Well, OnePlus 5T looks much more modern and stylish from its predecessor, but I really expected more apart from just a bigger display. OnePlus 5T is basically the OnePlus 5 with an edge-to-edge display and new camera module. So after waiting for 5 months, you are getting basically the same phone. OnePlus says never settle, but no new feature really coming in OnePlus series in the last few iterations. I mean, just having the same CPU and GPU as the flagships doesn't make it a flagship killer. In the last 2 years, flagship devices evolved a lot. You are now getting wireless charging even on iPhones, and also water resistance, USB 3.0 or 3.1 on Samsung devices, and most importantly, devices like Nokia 8 with almost the same price tag is offering Quad HD resolution. The front camera of Nokia 8 also offers autofocus just like S8 or S8 Plus, whereas you are still getting fixed focus camera. The telephoto lens of OnePlus 5 has been replaced by a low light camera which is capable of merging 4 pixels into one, which allows each pixel to capture more light. It triggers automatically when the lighting level is below 10 lux. Now with the front camera, you can unlock your 5T with your face. It can identify over 100 points on a user's face. So this is another new feature on the OnePlus 5T. But still, there is no optical image stabilization on the OnePlus 5T, though Nokia 8 and also Mi Mix 2 offer OIS and also feature professional audio hardware for high bitrate audio recording and playback. So because of all these factors, I don't see OnePlus 5T as a flagship killer anymore. Of course, for the price, it's a fantastic device, but OnePlus itself raised the bar of this segment and its competitors are kicking ass, so OnePlus should think differently and try something innovative or at least keep up with its competitors. OnePlus is the company that made this segment popular. They have shown us you can get the same processing power as the flagships at almost half the price, but I think OnePlus is losing its touch and just putting a bigger display on a same phone won't really help. The new camera module is a welcome change because I barely use the telephoto zoom, and in low light the noise level is considerably low. It's better than OnePlus 5. Check the description below for a detailed camera review on this OnePlus 5T and also comparison with S8, S8 Plus, some speed test of course. And if you have found this video interesting, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and keep in touch. Comment below if you have any question. This is Shukesh signing off. Thanks a lot for watching.